for a moment, and we will be there live. Update me, Titus. Update will be coming. For sure delayed? Well, it's delayed from the 10th. The original flight date was the 10th. So we are going to update you on the actual flight date. The no earlier than, the net. And why. That's the important thing. Why did that happen? So that'll be coming up soon. Why and how? That's part of the thing too. How is SpaceX going to deal with this? What are they going to be doing for this launch? What new updates have happened on Starship since the last launch? All right, there we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's been a little while since I've done one of these live ones here. Titus, how you doing? You said he can't hear me. Michael says, for sure delayed. Yep, a little bit. Not that big of a deal. Just to be honest with you. Not that big of a deal. Philip, welcome back. Thanks for joining me yesterday on the Elon Musk podcast. I'll have a link to that show in chat in a minute. So I'll let you guys know about that show, Elon Musk podcast. I can hear you just fine, says Philip. Thank you very much, Philip. Appreciate that. So we're going to be talking about SpaceX's Starship Flight 7 and the delay, because they were originally set to fly on the 10th. But that's not going to happen. It's been delayed a few days. Most of it is possibly due to weather. There's some inclement weather off the coast where the Starship was going to land, and there's also some inclement weather in Texas where they were going to launch from. So any of those things could postpone a launch. Mainly, if they're going to be launching in a thunderstorm or some sort of electrical storm, that's not good. You get struck by lightning, boom, there goes the ship. So yeah, that's it's a bad thing. So I want to show you a few things before we move forward. I want to say also thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you hanging out with me today because you chose to get your news from me here. And this page, 92,000 subscribers. I'm going for 100,000. So please hit the sub button and the like button and share this with your friends and chat and also leave a comment when you get a chance. So that out of the way, the YouTuber stuff, we're going to be talking about what's actually important here today. And the important thing is the Flight 7 of Starship. So here we go. Flight 7. This is an update from Elon Musk himself. On a Twitter live stream, he was playing Diablo. He just crushing it the other day. And when he was playing Diablo, he would take a break for a couple seconds and he would say just talk about the game or talk about whatever. And then somebody asked him a question, what's going on with Flight 7? And then he said, Flight 7 is delayed to sometime next week. He said, in short, there's another delay. Starship Flight 7 looks like it's been pushed about 3 or 4 days, says Elon Musk. 3 or 4 days. So from the 10th, 3 or 4 days would be the 13th or 14th. So there's a big storm off the coast of Australia that's forming, possibly like hurricane, tornadoes, things like that. High winds, bad seas. And what they want to do is land the Starship in the ocean off the coast of Australia this time. So they can't have that. They don't want the ship to get destroyed. They need all the telemetry data for when it comes in. It would just be a disaster all around. So they don't want to do that. They want it to be clear skies. They want it to be a really, as much as a re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere is extremely violent, they want it to be as peaceful and calm as possible for when they actually land this thing off the coast, so they can get all the footage they need, get all the sensor data that they can get, and they can make a decision about the next flight, Flight 8, with that data that they get. So just from Elon Musk saying it's postponed a few days, let's check this out. Starship's 7th flight test is now as soon as Monday, January 13th. Okay, live webcast of the flight test will begin about 35 minutes before liftoff, you can check it on X at SpaceX. You can also watch a webcast on the new X TV app. Interesting. The launch window will open at 4 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. CT. So check that off on your calendars. 4 o'clock Monday, Central Time. Starship could possibly launch on the 13th of this month. And of course, they say it's a developmental test, so the schedule is dynamic and likely to change. So be sure to check out everything on X, on the SpaceX X account for updated, news about this flight, because you never know what can happen. They just put on the, which one is it here? On their X account, 7th flight test of Starship being prepared to launch as soon as Monday, January 13th. So it's all official. Teams at Starbase are keeping an eye on weather conditions for pre-flight operations. And we will update you with some weather in a little bit, just so you know what's going on. But I want to know what you think about this. Is it okay for SpaceX to have a few days to get things in order while they're launching this? Of course it is. I mean, it's a $1 billion rocket. They're building these things at Starbase. Of course, they're going to wait a few days if the weather is horrible. So I want to show you what else happened here. So they're waiting for the weather to clear up, and SpaceX is sending out the big guns to the ship LZ right now. They clearly want that Starship back in one piece this time. So they're sending their ship out so they can gather the ship. They're sending out both ships. Offshore supplier 5 minutes ago, and outer limit over there. So they may be grabbing the ship, getting the ship onto the boat afterwards, or at least parts of it. We're not 100% sure. But if the ship does land in the ocean, they could possibly grab it, put it on this boat, and send it back to shore so they can check out all the sensors. And of course, the telemetry data, everything is remote anyway because they have Starlinks attached to it. And that'll be sent back to SpaceX HQ. JJ Jones says, hi, thank you very much for the updated information. Thank you for joining me. Had no idea it was because of Australian hurricane, Michael. Yeah, there's hurricane-ish stuff happening off the coast of Australia. So there's a possibility that could be postponing it a little bit. Better delay if for a couple days than having a bad idea, says Philip. Yep. Wonder if they'll cut it in half to fit on the boats. I know that doesn't, it seems like it might not fit. It's 150 feet long. If you lay down on its side, 150 feet. That boat's big, but I don't know about 150 feet big. Could just be, you ever go to, every time I go to Home Depot or something, there's always that one car, like the car that's not a station wagon or that's not a truck, that has like a bunch of 2x4s sticking out of the back window, and it has a flag on it. That's how I feel like this boat might be. It's going to have the big Starship stuck on the back of it and have like a couple yellow flags flapping in the wind behind it. Like, hey, big wide load coming through. Part of me is glad Starship got delayed because I had to work that day, so I couldn't watch it live. Mars Rover X, I hear you. At 4 o'clock on a Monday, for most people, they're at work. So it's going to be a good time just kind of like slack off for a couple minutes, for like 30 minutes and be like, what's going on over here? Open up another tab or open up your phone, whatever, and just watch the launch real quick. It's at 4 o'clock. So it's like you're at the end of your work day and you're like, I got an hour left or whatever, hour, maybe an hour and a half or whatever, if you're in the Central Time. And if you're on the East Coast, you're already done with work at 5 o'clock. So this is a good time to like just stay that extra 20 minutes at work and watch the launch. 20 minutes, half an hour. And then you'll look good too to your boss. So take that into consideration. If you're thinking about watching this on Monday and you're on the East Coast, you're like, hey, if I could just stay at work on my computer for an extra hour, I could just open up this other tab for the Starship launch. So that would be that'd be something you could do, just to kind of like get like a little favor for your boss too. So take that into consideration while you're at work on Monday. Think about it on the 13th, 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Now, a thing that we have to think about too is that SpaceX did announce it, and I've updated this about 30 minutes ago. There's no road closures quite yet. These are from the 8th and 9th, so that's basically the ship moving back to the launch pad. But there's nothing yet for the 13th, 14th, 15th. Now, I did get an email this morning about some stuff from SpaceX, and the date was the 13th. So no earlier than the 13th. It's official, again, official email from SpaceX as well. I can't show you that though. Also navigational warning for the Indian Ocean released starting at 2242 UTC on January 13th, 2025. Hazardous operations, space debris. Look at that zone. January 13th, 2242 on the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th. So we have 5 days of a potential space debris warning in the Indian Ocean. And here's the close up of that. January 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. Thanks, Michael Beck. I appreciate that. And also, I have to show you this too. This is an interesting thing. SpaceX Starship. Where did it go? Oh, it's on the next page now because it's. Where'd it go? Is it gone? Can I see Starship anywhere? Looking at this. Let's see what's going on here. Let's do a little star. No Starship. I guess this is advisories for Sedina, and I don't see a Starship anywhere. SpaceX oh, there it is. FT Flight 7. There we go. Launch day the 11th. They haven't updated this yet. This was the 11th yesterday, and they haven't updated this advisory yet. So this is what they thought was going to happen, because on the 10th they moved it up to the 11th, and then they saw that the weather was bad, and they moved it back up to the 13th. So Elon Musk and SpaceX have both said the 13th. So officially the 13th. Now, Michael asks, when is the rollout of Ship 33? January 9th, 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. And I'll show you that too. 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. Department of Transportation approved transportation operations on Highway 4 from the factory to the launch pad sometime between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. on January 9th, 2025, from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. So this is the 8th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So, or on the 9th between midnight and 3 a.m. It'll take about an hour. The beach and highway will remain open throughout the operation. However, traffic may be delayed. So now or tonight. So keep an eye out on that. It will be happening sometime today or late tonight. That's happening maybe as we speak. I haven't even looked at the webcams from anybody else. I did see the hot staging ring added back to the booster. And that's important because that's the huge step before the ship is actually connected. And when did this happen? Let's see what time this happened. And this is on our Discord. So if you want to join our Discord, I'll show you the link to that in a little bit. That happened today at 2:20 a.m. The hot stage ring was attached. The interstage ring is back on top of the booster. That happened today at 2:20 p.m. or 2:20 a.m. That's when I got the alert. So it happened before then. And also, SpaceX has updated their Starship page on the SpaceX website with new Starship Block 2 renders and specifications. That just came through on our Discord. So I'm going to show you that right now. We can take a look at it together. Let's see what they say. Here, they have a little animation, sort of. Not showing the animation. Something's busted. Let me see if I can get it to work. No. I guess it's not going to work, unfortunately. Yeah, not working right now, everybody. Sorry about that. But we do know that there will be the launch of Ship 33 and the booster coming in hot January 13th. There is a 7-day forecast that I want to show you too. And this is what's important here. Monday, mostly cloudy with high near 62, wind 9 to 11 miles an hour with gusts up to 20. 20 is okay. And Saturday and Sunday, clear weather. And this is in Boca Chica, Starbase, Texas. So in Brownsville area. So it's good weather on Monday, so that's great. 40% chance of showers though Monday night. So 4 o'clock is a good time for SpaceX to launch this thing before the weather possibly turns rainy a little bit later on. And then what else do we have here? I think that was it for all of these millions of tabs here. Let me take some questions here. Hey, from Yakima, Washington. Is that how you say that? Love the content, Michael. Thanks. Starbase Live, no views of potential rollout currently. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. Yeah, the potential rollout should then happen probably tonight, I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm assuming that it'll be happening to like late tonight. So, hey, could I ask you guys a favor real quick? If you like Starship content, SpaceX content, just leave a like real quick. That's it. Just takes a second. It's free. It helps out the channel, helps out discovery. If you are not subscribed to the channel, we're working towards 100,000 subscribers, and we're there. We're real close. So if you could do that, I really do appreciate it, because if you like and subscribe to the channel, then YouTube will see that you like spaceflight content and especially SpaceX content, and they'll start pumping you more of that stuff in your feed. So it's not just about my channel. I do enjoy you being here, but you'll get more content in other creators that you might actually like better than this one. So better than me. So yeah, just do that. Do yourself a favor. Do that real quick. It helps me out, but it also helps you out at the same time. So we're also live on Twitch, and we're also live on Kick right now too, by the way. So just in case you have those platforms available. So what do you guys think? What do you think is going to happen in this launch? Is it going to be wild? Do you think it's actually going to work out? And we're just speculating here. I just want to have a conversation with anybody that's in chat right now. I want you to let me know what you think is going to happen during this flight, because there's so many upgrades to Starship for this one, and I'm going to pull those up so we can look at them together. Because I know some people, there's a little hate going on. Blue Origin and SpaceX together, they're flying their super heavies days apart. Blue Origin fans are going wild because they're beating SpaceX to orbit. I mean, SpaceX is doing some cool stuff with Flight 7, right? They're doing suborbital, but they're also launching mock Starlinks out of the Pez dispenser this time. A cargo. They're deploying a cargo into space. This is the 7th flight test. If Blue Origin beats SpaceX to orbit and deploys cargo, Pathfinder style, yeah, that'll be a huge win for Blue Origin and Bezos. So let's take a look at some of these upgrades to version 2, Ship 33 for flight test 7. Forward flaps have been reduced in size and shifted towards the vehicle tip and away from the heat shield, significantly reducing their exposure to reentry heating while simplifying the underlying mechanisms and protecting tiling. Redesigned propulsion system, 25% increase in propellant volume. That's huge. New fuel feed line system for the vehicle's Raptor engines, redesigned vacuum jacketing, improved propulsion avionics. All the above upgrades add additional vehicle performance and the ability to fly longer missions. Improved next generation thermal protection systems, new generation, sorry, not next generation. A backup layer to protect from missing or damaged tiles. So if something does happen on the way back through the atmosphere, if a tile flops off, or if some heat gets underneath, some of the plasma heat gets underneath the tile, starts lifting up the tile a little bit, and the heat hits a layer between the heat tile and the actual ship, it's going to be protected now because there was nothing like that before. So it's redundancy, basically. If you're an engineer and you know what that means, this is how they should do it. Redundancy in all systems is key, but also make them streamlined, and that's what they did. Completely redesigned vehicle avionics, adding additional capability and redundancy for increasingly complex missions like propellant transfer and ship return to launch site. Eventually, they'll have a ship return to Boca Chica, to Starbase. They'll land it on the chopsticks, they'll lower it down, they'll take it away for refurbishment, and then a few days later, that same ship or a ship that was before that comes back out to the launch site, stacks on a booster that was already used, and it's a fully reusable ship. Ship return to site. That's going to be amazing. Once they have the Tower 2 up, this will be increasingly more prevalent. Because if they could catch a booster with Chopsticks 1 on the first launch tower and lower it down, get it stable, they could land the ship on the Tower 2, lower it down, and it's going to take some refurbishing. They're going to have to check it out. It's not going to be like they land, they put a ship on top of it, then they fly again. They land it, do a checkout of all systems, and then do a checkout of the systems on the ship. And then if those things check out, sure, put them on top of each other. Let them fly again. Refuel those bad boys. Let them go up, do another mission. Especially Starlink, and they'll have to refuel it. They'll have to put some cargo in it. So it's not going to be like boop boop. It's not going to be real quick. Because if they have to put cargo in it, that's going to take a while. Avionics upgrades include a more powerful flight computer, integrated antennas to combine. This is the cool play. Combine Starlink, GNSS, and backup RF communication functions into each unit. Basically, any communications that need to be done can be done with more power now. Anything they need to do, telemetry data, to get this thing back to the chopsticks. That's how this thing is built now. Starlink, the vehicle, is capable of streaming 120 megabytes per second of real-time high-definition video and telemetry in every phase of flight, providing invaluable engineering data to rapidly iterate across all systems. Now, I had a freak out on my other channel, the Elon Musk podcast channel, because could you imagine? They have 30 some odd, 30 cameras on this thing now. 30 cameras. Here's a video of them checking or testing the ship too. Single engine static fire test. Yeah, that's what they want to do. They want to do a single engine fire in their trajectory this time, so they can check out if it actually works, like a relight of an engine this time too, which is going to be wild. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Let me check out chat real quick. Ceramic tiles is the way to go. They're pretty close to succeeding. Yeah, I agree. When it comes to New Glenn, a lot can go wrong. It's the first flight. I agree. There can be a lot of things that go wrong on either flights. I'm a SpaceX fan. 100% a SpaceX fan. I love the engineering. I love the idea of becoming a multiplanetary species. I love the idea of sending a Starship somewhere further into the cosmos, past Saturn, wherever we want to send one. It's still a test vehicle, though. So either way, Blue Origin, it could just blow up on the pad. It's a possibility. SpaceX has a few flights under its belt, so they know that most of this stuff works. Everything pretty much works. Coming back to the tower didn't really work last time. But, going up and, landing, that didn't work last time, but maybe this time. I don't know. SpaceX is ahead, Mars Rover X. Yeah, I agree. SpaceX is a little bit ahead. People have to keep in mind Blue Origin has never gone to orbit, while SpaceX has gone almost 400 times. and I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here. SpaceX has gone so many times with a Falcon 9. So they have data from all those Falcon 9 flights about how to fly that rocket, which isn't the same as a Starship. It's similar because it goes up and it comes down. Flies up, lands. But Starship lands on chopsticks. And I like I said before, I'm a huge SpaceX fan. My whole channel is about SpaceX. So I'm not saying the engineers at SpaceX don't know what they're doing either, because they're absolutely like the best engineers in the world. It's a different thing though. Yeah, it's a whole different rocket. But I agree with you. They are way ahead of Blue Origin. Blue Origin has, because they've never landed anything other than the little pee-pee rocket. Which I'm also a fan of spaceflight tourism. So I think that's a pretty cool little rocket that they have going on there. I would never go on it. It's terrifying. I don't want to go up in that thing. I mean, it's probably scary enough sending kids postcards to orbit, or not to orbit, but to space, as they call it. I don't know. People are arguing about that all the time. Has Blue Origin been to space even? It's like, maybe. A lot of people say maybe, but who knows? Right? It depends on your perspective, right? You've never been to orbit though, Michael. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. They've never been to orbit. But SpaceX is ahead. I agree. Do hope we can catch this time though. I really hope we can catch this one too, Mars Rover X, because if they can catch Flight 7, could you imagine Flight 8, Flight 9, Flight 10? They'll be refurbishing boosters before we know it. And instead of building new boosters, they'll be flying the same booster for 2-3 flights, and they won't have to spend money on new boosters. Maybe some engines here and there, something, some refurbishments, but not the millions of dollars to build a new booster. And that's the whole goal, is to reuse every piece of these rockets. So the next time it doesn't cost as much. It's just fuel at that point and some refurbishment. Marina R, greetings. Can New Glenn replace SLS? No, it can't. They work on HLS Starship, right? They are working on HLS Starship right now. There was some like sneaky photos of when they're building Star Factory, of the insides of the HLS Starship. I can't wait to see this thing. I can't wait till it rolls out to the pad, actually, at at NASA, at Kennedy Space Center. That's going to be wild when they do that. That's going to be super wild. Yeah, they're still working on the HLS version of Starship. They're still working on this version they have right now is basically like the normal Starship. And they're testing this out to make sure that the boosters work, that the ship works. And then, of course, the HLS version isn't going to come back down to the atmosphere, so there's no reason for them to launch it right now. They have to figure out how this thing works first. And then when they figure that out, they can do all the other stuff. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm going to take a quick look. Thanks for the 31. We have 31 likes, 55 concurrent viewers, 52 concurrent viewers. It bounces up and down, by the way. Could you take a second, hit the like button? If you're new here, thank you for joining up and hanging out. I appreciate your time. Can't wait for Starship Flight 7, says Marina. Yeah, same here. It's going to be an interesting flight too, because there's so many things that are upgraded. We were just talking about that. And Block 2, first flight of Block 2 though. First new configuration. So of course they're always upgrading things as they go. So Flight 1 is not going to be the same as Flight 6. Flight 1's not going to be the same as Flight 5. Flight 5 is not going to be the same as Flight 8 or 9. So it's incremental upgrades. They haven't flown this version of Starship yet, so we're going to see how that works out. I hope it works out great, and I hope they catch it. That's all I can ask for. That's all I can really ask for. So also, if you could share this channel with your friends if you like spaceflight. Just share it with your friends. Share it on Discord. We also have a Discord, which I'm going to link you to that right now. This is the Stage 0 Discord. There we go. There's our Discord. Please take a second and join up there where we can continue the conversation about spaceflight, SpaceX, NASA, Blue Origin, ULA, whatever you want to take a stab at. You can do that. And also we have I have another podcast called the Elon Musk Podcast, and we have the Doge Pack, which is our other Discord. But I'll send that up too, so you guys can check that one out if you're interested. Just take a look-see. There we go. But I don't know, I think it's going to be an interesting flight, and we do know that it's going to be launching Monday the 13th at 4 p.m. CT now. It started as the 10th, got postponed to the 11th. Then from the 11th, it got postponed again to the 13th due to some inclement weather, like some inclement weather in Texas and some inclement weather in off the coast of Australia in the Indian Ocean. So we're working, the teams are working hard at SpaceX to get this flight going no earlier than the 13th. I got a notice from SpaceX, an email from SpaceX earlier about some things happening at Starbase. Said the 13th. That's all I can tell you. It was from the SpaceX team. So that, and also all the other things like the tweets that they sent out, definitely. And also they posted on their website too. So that's pretty telling right there. 7th flight of Starship right here, soon as the 13th. So you can't really see it on your screen, but trying to get it over there. Monday the 13th. There we go. 7th test flight. There we go, but right there. Monday the 13th. It'll happen about 4 p.m. CT, 35 minutes before liftoff. They will start their stream. So either you can, I'm not going to stream it on YouTube because everybody else streams it on YouTube. That's cool. But also like demonetization kind of stuff. Don't want to do that. Twitch, it's going to happen over there on Twitch. So if you want to check us out on Twitch, you can check it at twitch.com or .tv/Space News Pod if you want to watch over there. And I know it's a different platform, but if you're interested, take a look and check us out over there. Hit a like and subscribe over there. We at Space Odysseys love all your content. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Discord desktop program is down. Oh no, that's not good. I've been to your channel before, Space Oddities. I've been to your channel before. I've watched a couple things, and I do like your channel. I really do like your channel. I've seen a few things. Your stuff comes up in my feed every once in a while. I click on it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is cool because I need new stuff all the time. I need new, like I was saying before, like when people like and subscribe and leave a comment about spaceflight, about a spaceflight channel, they're going to start getting stuff from other channels. Like I get Space Odysseys stuff in my feed every once in a while. It's cool. So yeah, you get a shout out. Check out Space Oddities live on YouTube, guys. It's a good channel. So yeah, I was like, I remembered the name and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not subscribed though. What am I doing? There you go. Just hit you with the sub. Explore the universe with Space Oddities. There we go. Yeah, thanks for joining up too. Appreciate it. We got to stick together. We're all in this big happy space flight family. Oh, that's a lot of emotes. So there we go. Okay, that's about it for today, everybody. I want to say thanks to everybody who's joined up today, everyone who's liked, everyone who's subscribed, everybody who's been chatting. Appreciate you 100%. You're amazing. And just stay tuned for more spaceflight coverage, for more Starship coverage. If anything else happens with Starship over the weekend, I'll let you know. So stay tuned to this channel. Also get on Discord. And also the next few days are going to be paramount to the success of Starship. So I will keep you updated as soon as I get some information If I get anything from SpaceX directly, I'll let you know. So thanks everybody for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I have a stream starting screen, but I didn't do a stream ending screen yet. Whoops.